There you are.
Hello.
There you are. Hello, hello, hello.
All right. I remember how to do this.
Yeah, it's been a while, hasn't it? Oh, shit. I got to turn the volume off on mine.
The volume is always off.
I only turn mine off if I'm like home. But I usually can keep an eye on it to see if it goes off generally, but.
I'm going to take a picture of us. Can I do that?
Oh, yeah.
And then I'm going to turn mine all the way off because sometimes.
Not very socially responsible.
Now that's a face. That's a face.
Well, you know, I got a mask on. I gotta do what I can up here.
If I was wearing my one mask, it'd be hilarious if I opened my eyes really wide. It's Pennywise the Clown.
I'm so glad I'm not wearing that today.
It's in my pocket. That was one of the extra masks I brought. Sorry. Am I wearing it?
No.
There you go.
Thank you so much.
While we're getting situated on actual internet, we are live on YouTube right now. As you can see, we're back. It's me. I'm going to have to spin the laptop around so y'all can see. It's me, Keys, and a couple of guests that came in all the way from Ohio. Don't worry, they are safe. We would like them to make a public decree. If they get sick, notice they're wearing masks. We cleaned the studio really well, at least Marquise did. If you get sick, you will not blame the cave.
We will not.
We will not.
See? There you go. All right.
I
So,
can't find your intros.
oh, God. You are so rusty.
I can't. No, I forgot what folder it's in.
Oh, I would imagine one that
Oh.
says Rants.
Nope, I got it. Dropbox. Never mind. I'm back. I got it.
Ta-da.
We're professional here.
Drum set's pretty sweet.
Oh, yeah. You should listen and watch on Sundays. I usually have live bands every Sunday.
Cool.
So while we're waiting for our master producer to get things organized.
Just now.
Hey, there we go. Now people on YouTube won't hear our intro, so I'll just keep going. We're going to be talking quarantine and everything that happened when the end of the world came into play, including no fucking zombies.
I know you were sad.
How do you have an apocalypse and not have zombies?
To be fair, we haven't had a vaccination yet, so once that happens.
We didn't even get the murder hornets we were promised.
No one gives us murder.
We might get that asteroid that's supposed to be coming.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, it's Armageddon time.
And on deck, aliens.
Ben Affleck's waiting.
With his giant teeth.
He's gonna save us all.
With what?
Well, I mean, a rocket, I guess. That's how they did it in Armageddon. Please do not ride the nuclear warhead.
Take all my fun away. There we go. That's better. I haven't heard that in such a long time. We're back.
I mean, some of us are.
Yeah, oh, yeah, that's true. Unfortunately, we do not have Krista with us. She could not attend our coming back home to the cave, but we're back.
Isn't it crazy that we had to get two girls to replace one?
It's hard to replace Krista. It really is.
Couple of imports.
Yeah, we had to import a couple of gals from Ohio. Please introduce yourselves.
I'm Leanne. I'm from Cleveland.
I'm Katie. I'm from Cleveland.
And since we did it on YouTube, let's do it live now on the air. We promise. Go ahead.
Not gonna sue anybody if I get the Roan.
The Roan.
I'm just so tired of saying it out loud now.
They tell you what. Put your hands up. I'll get it on video now. I do solemnly swear.
I do solemnly swear.
If I get anything that represents a certain pandemic that's going around.
if I get anything that represents a certain pandemic that's going around,
I will not sue.
I will not sue.
I repeat, I will not sue.
I repeat, I will not sue.
Cave Radio Broadcasting
Cave Radio Broadcasting
or Rants in Our Pants.
or Rants in Our Pants.
I do solemnly swear.
I do solemnly swear.
So help me, David Bowie.
So help me, David Bowie.
There you go. All right, now that we got that out of the way, it's been, let's see, I don't think I've actually broadcast since February, now that I think about it, because I had to take, I think the first weekend in March off, and then after that, everything went tits up.
That's one way of putting it.
That's being mild.
That's the nicest way of putting it, really.
Well, yeah, I mean, one minute you could go out, go to the restaurants, you could go to the bar. Next thing you know, the governor's telling you everything's shutting down at 3 p.m. and it's a fucking ghost town.
What's the last movie you saw in a theater before this all happened?
Fuck.
The first X-Men.
The first X-Men?
He doesn't really go to the movies that much.
I was like, wait.
What was the last movie we saw at the theater? And just for those who don't know, Amanda, my partner, is here. She just generally doesn't go on the mic or want to be seen.
Well, I saw Parasite, but I saw it by myself.
It wasn't at a theater, though.
Yes, it was.
Oh, it was? Someone's been dipping. Okay.
Not the drive-in.
Last movie I remember was probably at a drive-in, but I just don't remember what it was.
The last movie Katie and I saw was not at a theater. And come to think of it, we didn't see it really, but we rented the Corey Feldman documentary.
Oh, God, I heard so much bad things.
It was not great, but that was the last night we spent together, like eating ice cream with 2 spoons, like sharing a pint with 2 spoons.
Yeah.
And then 3 days later, everything shut down. And I'm like, Katie and I shared ice cream with 2 spoons.
That was the last
We're
time
going to kill each other.
we saw each other. Like, we're in
Yeah.
close proximity until today.
Yeah. And that was that Monday of that week. And Thursday, everything shut down. In Ohio, at least. I don't know how y'all did it here in Michigan. But
I think it was around the same-ish.
Yeah.
we shut down on a Thursday. And Monday night, I spent the night on her couch and we shared ice cream.
I think in Michigan, I'm not 100% sure. I could be wrong. I think we shut down. It wasn't too long after her birthday. I think it was on the 13th. And it was like, okay, well, maybe I can get to the gym. Maybe I can get to the gym before nope, they were closed. They instantly locked down. So we stopped by the bar. Not the bar, the liquor store, because the bars were closed. I'm sorry. And I couldn't help it. I'm walking out of the liquor store with Amanda. She's, got all her goodies. And I'm like, they closed the bar, the whole fucking bar. And there's this old Muslim man walking down the sidewalk like, what the fuck are you? What is wrong with you?
Whoa.
Like, sorry, didn't mean to offend you, sir. But basically it just went fucking crazy. I mean, you went from, and I know somebody's watching. I can see them right now. Oh, I see you.
Who that, do I know?
I don't know. They haven't identified themselves yet.
Oh, okay.
Basically, when everything went nuts, it started off as something that was a hoax. It doesn't exist. It's hugely made up just to make them look bad.
It's just a flu.
It's no worse than the flu. It's no different. People die from the flu too. Then it turned into, please keep 4 feet apart, then 10 feet apart, then 6 feet apart. Please don't wear masks. Don't wear masks. Go back to wearing masks. Wash your hands for 20 seconds. Sterilize your hands after each time. My hands took a severe fucking beating from sterilizing. It just went fucking crazy. And let's just all walk the timeline, shall we?
Sure.
What was the first thing that completely went crazy when you heard quarantine, pandemic? And now mind you, they didn't even do the quarantine stay-at-home order. What was the first thing that told you this was not going to be normal?
I'm a mom, so it's kind of stuff out, and that's really weird, right? My kids had just earlier been complaining that we had such a mild winter and they didn't have any snow days, and they were disappointed that they didn't miss school.
And they got the mega snow day.
Then they got 10 weeks of snow days. I think it was 10 weeks on our school calendar. And of course, our governor said it will be a 3-week extended spring break. And I knew in my heart, like, that's not going to happen. They're done. They're done for the year. So I picked my kids up from school that day because the governor's issue was at 2:00 and I was picking my kids up at 3. I said, guess what? You're done. You're done. And that was it. And then we had to think of something to do. And then the teachers started, that's a whole other rant. The teachers started giving us work to do online. And I was a teacher before I was a mom. I'm not at all complaining about the teachers. They did a great job. But boy, I'm a professional licensed teacher. And it was hard to school my own kids. It was nightmare territory.
And just getting them to pay attention?
Absolutely. And I have a 5th grader, a 3rd grader, and a 1st grader. And, my 5th grader was like, why'd you put our computers in the room with the Legos? Because that's where they have like desks. Like, how do you expect me to focus and work? Like, I did my best to try and like organize a little classroom space, but it's like all our stuff is in here. And, of course they don't listen to me. Kids don't listen to their parents like they listen to other adults ever. So it was no fun. And from what I understand it though, nobody had fun. Nobody feels like their kids learned anything. And they're all going to be the same degree behind whenever they go back to school.
Pretty much.
Whenever that is.
And Katie?
We had a meeting at work like a couple of weeks before all of this happened, and they were kind of like, well, the coronavirus, it's coming, you guys. Things are going to get different. And I'm like,
it's coming. Bum, bum, bum.
I'm like, what? All right, but what does this mean for us? And so, like, I don't know, my office is like a smaller section of a larger office in Cleveland. And everybody else was finding out like what was going to happen, and like the whole county shut down. But since of the office that we're under, we did not get shut down right away. And I feel like I was like, I think they just like forgot about us over here. Like they were working on doing a lot of things. Like they were doing a lot of stuff over there. And I know that they were very busy, but they were just kind of like, oh yeah, you guys too. Well, I guess at this point, don't come to work tomorrow, which would have been that Thursday. Not that Thursday that we were eating things, but maybe the next Thursday.
Not when you were sharing the spoon.
Yes, not when we were sharing spoons of ice cream. It was the following Thursday. And so, but they told us this on Wednesday afternoon at work. And at that point I was like, well, fuck it. I'm going home now. So I like texted my boss. I was like, I'm taking half a sick day. I'm going home. Done. See you later. And then they like gave us laptops to work from home with, but they're terrible. They're really old and don't have like programs on them. They just go really slow. But yeah, the first night of quarantine, I ended up like having a video chat with 3 girls that I went to camp with, drinking an entire bottle of rum and dyeing my hair blue.
Awesome.
So, I was like, well, I'm not going back to work for a while.
Might as well. All right. Keys, what about you?
What are we talking about?
You were paying attention, I see.
I was trying to set up Zoom so that people could have Zoom and I have people that's not coming to the show today. So.
Oh, I gotcha. I still haven't gotten my authorization to use it yet. I don't know if it's my email or what, but
Okay.
it's like fucking hell. So now you, they decide they're going to close basically Michigan down unless you're an essential employee. Now, if I remember from some of our chats, you were like me. You were out there every day. Almost every day.
At the beginning, I was, yeah. And then as more plants start, like I knew the plants were going to close and I knew it was eventually going to hit us. So as the plants closed, I went in one day and then they were telling us how much they was getting for unemployment. And I was like, I went to work and I was like, yeah, man, I'm not coming back to work next week.
Yeah, that pissed a lot of people off.
I'm like, because at that point it was optional. They were like, if you want to come in, you can come in. If you don't, you don't. And then I'm like, but yeah, no, I'm not. I'm like, nah, I'm gonna go home. And so 2 months later, here I am. Chilling.
I'm just super thankful I'm not bartending anymore.
Oh God, yeah.
I would be so fucked. I mean, everything shut down, and
to be fair, we were gonna get it anyway. Like we were gonna get laid off anyway, but I'm not looking forward to taking a pay cut to go back to work.
Well, in my case, it was vastly vastly different from everything else. I mean, in one aspect, Amanda's in my life did not change. We woke up same time every day, went to work every day. Where I started noticing things going, if you will, is we had to have the talk. No, not that talk. The talk basically of, okay, you're in the safety committee. We need to have you put these pictures up of how to wash your hands. I'm like, wait, what? This is a problem? Aren't we supposed to be into the bathroom?
Like all the time?
Yeah, this is a problem? The next one was I was about ready to leave for work, or leave from work rather, and my original intention was stop at Costco because it was my shopping day to go. And my coworker goes, "Oh, are you stocking up?" I'm like, "For what?" It didn't even hit me about the whole COVID-19 bullshit. So I get there and it's packed, more so than normal, and I it's not adding in my head as to why. And I'm going along and I'm seeing like toilet paper's gone. Paper towel, gone. This is gone. People are like grabbing eggs en masse and meat en masse and all this stuff. I'm like, what the fuck? It's Memorial Day for like 2 more months. What the fuck is wrong with these people? Now I like to call myself an accidental prepper. I had bought a pack of toilet paper like a long time ago, and I always forget, did I buy toilet paper? Well, I guess I'll buy some toilet paper. That stupid mentality of mine saved us because you couldn't find toilet paper to save your life through the month of March and pretty much through the through the month of April. Okay, you couldn't. And people were trying to beat the shit out of each other for freaking toilet paper. They're stocking so much. It's like, I bet you they're like, I won't have to buy toilet paper until 2022. And then others are hoarding fucking sanitizer only to sell it and gouge it later.
Oh, yeah.
And to me, that still wasn't when it went nuts. When it went officially nuts is going to work the day after the governor of Michigan closed down all non-essential businesses. Going onto the road that you normally see at that time frame, packed, bumper to bumper, and you're one of the few cars on the road. And then you come in and you're handed a paper that you have to have on you at all times in case you get pulled over to prove you are an essential employee. That's when it started getting a little cuckoo for me. But just watching the mentality of them trying to make you think your essential employees are heroes. But the minute they started lifting shit, people didn't fucking learn a goddamn thing.
No. Trash pandas.
Yeah.
Big time trash pandas. You had people going out there when they started at first people were maintaining social distancing. But then you got some to go, well, I don't have to wear a mask. That's un-American. That's infringing upon my constitutional rights.
My favorite is, I've got a right to choose if I'm going to wear a mask or not. I'm like, whoa.
So let me
All
see.
right.
And then you start seeing the memes. Gee, I have the right to tell you can get an abortion or not, but don't tell me if I have to wear a mask or not.
Oof.
And then you had these, as I told my neighbor, and he always gets a kick when I do this, these ding, 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 that decided to take their automatic weapons, drive to the Capitol, get in the Capitol, and not get arrested. How this happened, I have no fucking idea.
They were white.
Weapons.
Oh, they were hunkies.
Super white. But yes, speaking of weapons, Leanne and I are here today because she was picking up a newspaper to make a tiny library for her house.
Mhm.
And so, we get out and this guy is like, oh, hey, da, 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 and he's got like the one in his front yard and he's showing it to us. And like,
Why do I have a bad feeling where this is going?
he's got like his back to his house. And I kind of like look up and I see this giant American flag and then a giant Trump flag right under it, like the same size. And I'm like, oh no. And like we get in the car, and Leon's like, "Did you notice that guy had a fucking gun on his belt? Like he gets up and just puts on his gun like it's a watch."
In the morning.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I was like, "Well, yeah, but he wasn't wearing shoes.
No shoes.
No shoes, but a gun for sure."
Yeah.
Was he wearing a mask?
No. But it was his house. I didn't,
Ding, 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 ding.
outside I feel like safe-ish,
Yeah,
but
we weren't like making out with him or anything. He was
oh god, no.
No. That to me, it just screams what I was talking to him in our chat last night. But watching how Trump, I just hit the camera, watching how Trump basically put everyone into such a fucking mind spin, it started making me angry.
Yeah.
And God fucking knows, you couldn't tell them the facts. Because God forbid you mention the facts, because Trump is always fucking right. And it was at some point, I want to say, I was talking to my trainer about this, because he became my mock therapist, because he's in the mental health field also.
Oh, good.
But I started getting very, very dark and very, very angry, to the point where if anyone, mask, no, it didn't matter. If you came within 5 feet of me, I'm going to start growling at you. If you get closer than that,
I know you'll do it too.
I have.
I've heard you.
If they get any closer than that, I'm going to start getting very aggressive and be quite verbal. There was a gentleman, when they finally opened the Dunhams, he gets like within rectal breach territory of Amanda. And I turn and I face him and I just start growling. And he just kind of backed off a little bit. But here comes his buddy, not wearing a mask, reeking 420 majorly, just right the fuck up on both of us. And I went back up. And his buddy with the mask looked at me like, what the fuck you saying? I just turned around. I'm carrying 50-pound plates in each hand, by the way. And I just turned around and went back up. He backed up because I was going to swing for the fences.
What's that? What, swing away, whoever. What's the guy?
Meryl.
That's
I just
it.
watched that movie.
I know.
Signs. Do you think, like, during World War II, when everybody was buying war bonds and so patriotic, do you think there was a level of dissension?
You know what? It's funny you mentioned that. I broadcasted this on YouTube, I want to say a few weeks ago. I was listening to a audiobook. I couldn't remember the title at the time, but I remember it now. It was Home Front Life During World War II. It mirrors so much what you see now. I mean, down to the racism.
And they were smart, and they had rations.
Yeah.
Like they had the ration books and stuff like that for
Well,
gas and for butter and sugar and
The
stuff.
funny thing is that's the one difference between then and now.
Oh yeah, nobody's smart enough to think about rations.
Basically it was, there was a divide between the difference between separatists and inclusionists. I think I'm getting the term wrong, but it was basically Franklin Delano wanted to engage into the war, and other people like, why are we getting into this? We got roped into World War I and we basically got fucked. We're now in a Great Depression because of it. Are you crazy? There's also the issues that they didn't want to get involved because, come on, it's just the Jews. Yeah. Then they had basically issues with war profiteering and all that other stuff. But when you look right down to it, if you ever get a chance to listen to it, I do recommend it highly. It's almost mirroring exactly what we're going through, except for they were a little smarter in some aspects. If you were to tell people now to ration shit, riots.
Yep.
You would have people in the Capitol like, ding, 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 with their rifles saying, you can't tell me to ration. This is my God-given right to have as many whoppers in my belly as I can possibly put into it. But
I was just happy I bought toilet paper on Amazon, like a lot of it before all this happened.
and before they gouged it too.
This is helpful. Oh yeah, because then you can only order it from like
third-party sellers.
Yeah, like far off places. Like
Mhm.
somebody, I saw a picture the other day, and somebody was like, "I ordered this from Amazon 2 months ago," and it was like the smallest, teeniest, saddest little rolls of toilet paper you've ever seen. I was like, "Oh, that's a bite." I'm sure
That's
you
gonna
spent,
last a week.
like, a lot of money on this big box of very tiny toilet paper.
And yeah, I got these two. They were called the big rolls, 1 ply, just in case.
Mhm.
Ironically, it lasted for 5 days. I was shocked.
It just makes me think of The Office when Dwight's like taking apart the toilet paper, like on a spinning wheel. He's like, reply the toilet paper.
Oh God. But no, everything that basically happened, and I told my trainer / therapist this, I just got really dark. And it's affecting me even now to this day. I don't want to be near people. I want to deal as less with human beings as humanly possible because they piss me off like that. It's like, you mean to tell me, and this is where it really started getting dark, is when I was watching those idiot protesters. Not the ones that went to the Lansing,
Oh.
not now.
I'm like,
No,
Whoa!
no.
Whoa!
No.
Okay.
We're getting there.
You mean
But
the actual
we're
people.
talking about the ones that went to Lansing to protest being stuck at home.
Also, did I tell you that my parents know Gretchen?
Gretchen Whitmer?
Yeah,
Big Gretch?
Yeah,
Your parents know Gretch.
yeah. Her ex-husband, like, she was married to him for a long time, and she would come to the '60s parties that
Really?
my dad's friend has.
Big Gretch?
Yeah. And they were like, she's like, "Do you know that that's his ex-wife?" I was like, "I did not realize that."
They might not be on good terms, I don't think.
I mean, I don't really know. He's a nice guy from what I know, but I don't know him super well.
But do you think he looked at her on TV and just in the back of his mind, I'm just saying, but in the back of his mind, he sits there and he's like,
I fucked up.
Fuck this up. I don't know.
no, he just said, I fucked that.
Oh, well,
Like,
yeah.
then he goes, like, no, for real, like, he could be happily married, but as a prideful man, he just sits there and he's just like,
I tapped that.
I mean,
I vetoed that.
Maybe. I don't know.
like, I signed the bill and vetoed it.
veto.
Whoa.
But
Yeah, parents told me that. I was like, whoa, that's crazy.
But no, when you had those guys that went to East Lansing or just Lansing and started protesting how unconstitutional it was for her to tell them for their safety and everyone else's to stay home, I couldn't sleep. I was just kind of half checked in, checked out, and I just literally almost went back to, just give you a little backstory. When I was in high school, I was very angry. More so than, and you've seen me angry.
Oh, yes, I have.
I'm talking you might not want to be near anywhere I'm at, angry. Because I used to have to sit and hold myself literally in place at school. So I did not just get up, walk out of class, pick a bathroom, didn't matter which one, and wait for the first person to walk in and beat the shit out of them.
You call me
For
crazy.
no reason. I was angry. I finally managed to calm down, but now I find myself, I'm getting to those levels, close to those levels again. And it scares me to a certain degree that I don't want to be that close to people. To me, quarantine was the best thing. The fuckers were out of my face.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
now,
assault charge.
here they are, didn't learn a damn thing. They're still cutting you off on the road. They're still cutting in front of you in line. There's getting close to you as a freaking little suppository of preparation age.
That's close.
Graphic.
Yeah, very. I just fucking hate people. And it all spurns from a certain orange jackass. To the point where if I see him on my TV, I want to punch the fucking TV. If I even hear him, I want to punch something. So that's why I was trying to emphasize this to my co-host. I don't want to talk about him. You can talk about him, wax poetic all you want. I don't want to talk about him.
This friend of my sister's is for some reason a fan. And on my birthday, I think it was like maybe 2017, she posted like a picture of him on my Facebook wall and was like, "Happy birthday." And I was like, "That's one." If you do that again, we'll never talk again.
That's
Like,
one. That's the warning
that
shot.
off of my page. Never again. No. That's all you get.
Why did she do that?
She's a fucking idiot. I don't know. Like she was very sweet in high school, but like she was 15 when I knew her. And now she's like,
I'm not sure what it means.
I don't even know like what to say. She's just like this weird sycophant who just is like, you know, goes to New York and takes pictures of the Trump building. And she's like, oh, look at this. And I'm like, nobody cares. Like,
Who gives a fuck?
like, come on, man. Like, really? Really?
But
And even now, when you would think that people would know better, because like people make mistakes. I'm not going to be like, fuck you forever. I am like, fuck you right now anyway. But if you haven't learned by now that this is a terrible idea, what's wrong with you?
mhm.
Like, do you keep expecting this to get better? Because like we were talking in the car on the way here, like Leanne said, didn't we know?
We knew. We were together on election night because we were out celebrating because we thought it was going to be historic. I had a red, white, and blue dress with stars on it.
Yeah.
I don't even like Hillary, but I was just so happy that it was over and that we were going to have a woman president. And I was like crying in a puddle on my bedroom floor by the time it was over.
Well, because
we knew.
we went to that Mike Polk show, who's like the Cleveland guy who's sorry he sang the We're Not Detroit song. That was just the tagline at the end of the hastily made Cleveland tourism video.
Yeah,
Do
I
you
know.
that guy? Okay.
Yeah,
I've
but-
seen it and I just went, yeah.
I know. I showed it to you in Brantford. I was like,
Mhm.
sorry, this is great. Not that part, but this rest was great. Anyway, but yeah, we went to go see his like pre-election show, and like things started coming in, and we moved to a different bar downtown, and
His show took a very dark turn because you could tell what we thought was going to happen. And then all of a sudden he kept, looking at his phone and he was like, all right, everybody, good night. And it was like an hour long. We were expecting to be a big party.
oh yeah, like
And it was a horrible and sad night.
lots of cocktails and Pickwick and Frolic, but
It kind of resembled that Dave Chappelle SNL skit when you had all those people at the house, or it was a condo. They were, I want to say, eager and like celebratory, and then the results came in and you had the people going, what? No. And there's Dave Chappelle, and I forget who else the other guy was, going,
well, and I remember after we parted ways that night, like you went home, I went to the bar where I was working at the time, and like my Uber rating got dinged that night because the guy like pulled up next to a sign, and I opened the door and like the door hit the signpost, and I'm like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. But yeah, like the place that I used to work had a Trump board game. And I hated that we had it on the shelf. I always hated that we had it on the shelf because like during all of this, everyone was just like joking about it. Like, this is so impossible. This is never going to happen. Da, 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 da. And I'm like, dude, we're having fucking Club Med looking dick faces walk in here with their pop collars, taking pictures next to this board game. Like, this is not a good thing for us to have. I think it's stupid. We should just get rid of it. So that night I walked into the bar and I grabbed that game off the shelf and I went into the parking lot and I set it on fire. So
Why'd you do that? Like, it didn't, I don't know, it just
I just went outside and I poured some 151 on it and just dropped a match. Like me and my friend Dave were just like,
I knew it was gonna happen. Like, I knew it was gonna happen. And nobody saw it. And there was a certain little pockets of us that were saying this is going to happen, because what you guys didn't count on was that the rich white people and the poor white people were going to come out, and the poor white people were going to come out in the same way that the poor black people came out for Obama. And there's way more of them than there is of us. And within that realm of people, the majority of them think like him, but can't say it because of who's around them, but they think like that, and they were secretly doing it. A lot of them were saying that within the circle, but still went and gave him the vote because they think like that. And that's what you guys didn't see. And that's how I knew it was going to happen. And it's going to happen again.
the thing that made me like
This is usually where I throw something at him.
I know. And guess what?
It's a valid concern
I'm
right now.
terrified.
It'll
because
bounce off the
It
plexiglass.
bounced off the plexiglass.
I'm legit about to like accept Julian's marriage proposal and be like, yeah, let's have our sham marriage, and I will come live with you in Toronto. Like,
Can I be your housekeeper or
yes, of
something?
course.
I need to figure out how to get my whole family up there.
Yeah,
You
same.
can have 3 little gardeners. My husband can do something.
He's full garden. He's a
He can come
landscaper.
too.
It's good.
I'm about ready to contact Colin and go, you know how you said you could figure a way to get me into Canada? Can you pull some strings, sir? Because I'm
I'm
out.
telling
I'm
you,
out.
it's going to happen.
We fucking know it's going to happen.
But that's the thing. Like the first time, like we did not think
Did
about
not,
that.
No,
And like we were at my parents' house, and like my dad was Leanne's government teacher
he
in high
was
school.
in 12th grade.
Yeah, and like she was having coffee with him, being like, "This isn't gonna happen, right?" He's like, "There's no fucking way. There's no fucking way."
You gotta think about this, is that he hadn't even had the campaign at all.
No.
Oh, let's talk about his first campaign speech, his first rally since COVID, though, shall we?
No, because we're not talking about politics.
No,
Yeah,
I told you.
no,
We're not
no.
talking about politics, Dawn.
No, you opened fucking Pandora's box. You
I
wanted
opened it,
me
you
in.
opened it.
I
You
I
did this
did.
to us.
I didn't.
No, I said after today I didn't want to talk about politics.
Oh no, that is
not what you said at all.
what he said.
Would you like me to pop up the message?
So
Yes.
I was seeing the King of Staten Island.
No.
Oh,
I hate Pete Davidson, man. I hate
Why?
that dude.
He's not that funny, to be
Don't.
honest.
He just looks like he's devoid of color. And just devoid of color.
Like an albino?
Yeah, like
I can see
he's
that.
like an albino.
Wait a minute. And what?
Yeah.
I think he looks sick. Like I worry about his well-being.
That I would agree with. It looks like maybe he had maybe one too many 8 balls.
He also has Crohn's disease. I don't know if that plays into it. I don't know
Ooh,
very
I
much
feel
about
really
that.
bad now.
yeah, it does.
It does. So that like the lack of color, and I know it's an autoimmune disease. We
Yeah.
have all of them in my house, but
He's also not
that
funny.
I think he's hilarious.
Yeah.
I've never heard him say a funny single thing.
I think the only funny thing I've seen him do was the RuPaul skit.
great. That was
Oh,
great.
was that the airport sushi?
No. It's where RuPaul is looking for the next superstar drag, superstar, and RuPaul sees the hopefuls, but sees a untapped quality in Pete Davidson, so to speak, his character, and all he did was just stand there, and go, okay, just, okay,
Oh, that character.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay.
okay, okay.
That's what is that, Chad?
I think so.
Yeah.
And he didn't even look that good in full drag, and you know they had to spend a lot of time on him to do that.
I love the pool boy one where like the lady's trying to end his relationship and he's just like, okay, and goes outside and keeps cleaning. Then she's like, no, come back. And he's like, okay. Like, I don't know. I just think he's very funny and charming.
And do you?
He does not.
I've been,
That's the thing.
you know what's, I know you guys probably wouldn't be into it, but the show I got into, because is this where we're going into, like shows we got into,
Yeah.
or stuff
Yeah.
that we got into while on quarantine, trying to avoid the Trump thing? Thank you so much for helping us out.
What, you think I saw something shiny and went squirrel? It's
Yeah.
still in my head.
Yeah, the show called Dave. It's a show called Dave.
Oh, I haven't watched that yet.
Yeah, but it's about like,
Dave, wait,
Yeah,
is this on Netflix or?
Hulu, I
it's
think.
on Hulu. It's
Hulu.
on FX. But because I'm not sure if I have any rap fans, because rap fans come out of nowhere sometimes, and so, but Dave is his Lil Dicky. You know who Lil Dicky is? No, you don't know who Lil Dicky is. But I have to ask the question, so I'm not assuming you don't know who Lil Dicky is. But I don't know who Lil Dicky is.
I didn't even get a fucking chance to respond. Do you know who Lil Dicky is? No, you don't know who Lil Dicky is.
All right.
But no, I don't.
Okay. Okay. Lil Dicky is actually a really good rapper, but he's white and he's Jewish and he has like a kind of a Jew fro.
Okay, now I know who he is.
Okay.
I didn't know his name, but I've seen him.
But this is basically the first season is about him, wanting to become signed or whatever. But it's a really, really funny show. So if you could deal with rap or whatever, you might be able to get through it. Also, Ozarks. I watched that.
Ooh, Black Monday.
Ozarks.
Black Monday is one of my favorite things that I've seen. Like my friend Jasmine had me watch it in like February. I watched the first episode. It's on Showtime. I was like, oh my god, this show is great.
Black Monday.
Yeah,
It's Don Cheadle.
yeah, yeah. It's so good. It's written by like Seth Rogen and Evan Goldberg, and it's got like Don Cheadle and Regina King and that guy from Girls who played
That what?
with the hair.
A guy with the hair
The
on
hair. Hannah's friend with the hair.
Are you talking about?
Andrew Renice or
I was gonna say the one guy from. He also was like. Now it's gone in my head. But the guy.
I don't know what
He
the
was
hair
in
means.
Star Wars.
Was he?
Adam Driver? Are you talking
No,
about
no,
him?
no, not Adam Driver. No.
Are we talking about Hannah's like college boyfriend?
Yes.
That's Andrew Renice, if I'm pronouncing it correctly.
Yes. He's in it also.
He's a Broadway guy. I could be completely wrong. He was Book of Mormon guy.
Yeah, that's him. That's him.
Okay.
Book of Mormon.
Yeah, he was the original lead in Book of Mormon on Broadway. I'm a theater person.
Gotcha.
That's how we met.
Yeah.
Book of Mormon
No,
or theater.
doing community theater when we were like 14 years old.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Actually 13 or 12.
It
The
was
first show we were in, I was 12.
Okay, who was Annie?
Nobody.
Neither of us.
We both had like very small parts in The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe. I was an owl and she was a wood nymph.
I was a wind nymph. I dropped a plywood tree on opening night, knocked it over, it made a big noise. It was a disaster.
The reviews were brutal, weren't
Brutal.
But you made an impact, and that's what's important.
Oh, yeah. And then later on, we were in like a Christmas Carol together, like every year. So, and other stuff.
they? Okay.
So,
I think the only thing I binge watch, you and I talked about it. I'm now at the episode, by the way. Parks and Rec.
yes,
The fight.
the fight.
I haven't seen it yet.
So you're new to Parks and Rec.
I've seen it sporadically, but this is the first time I've actually binge watched it through the seasons.
I'm sighing with envy. Like I wish I could experience it all again for the first time.
Because to me, it's hilarious. Because all this time, she's always been telling me, "You're Ron Swanson." I'm like, "Who's Ron Swanson?"
Oh, I can see that.
Yeah.
And the more I watch it, I'm like, "Yep, I'm Ron fucking Swanson."
Yeah. The first episode we ever watched together was the fight, and it was the first one that I had ever seen. And I was like, "This is hysterical! Oh my god!"
I just watched it last night, actually, and I'm not even lying.
I
I've
watched
probably
it 2
seen it
days
100
ago.
times.
Yeah,
So good.
I want to get the T-shirt that says, "Give me all the bacon and eggs that you have."
I know what I'm about, son.
It's like, just get back. I know what I'm about. But what else basically during all this brouhaha were you doing? Other than, like I said, me turn shit off, especially. Oh God. I only pop in on Facebook now for 10 seconds every day.
Yeah,
Good for you.
That's it.
fair. Good job. I don't.
And I get people mad at me. Didn't you get my invitation? No.
I did not.
Anyway, go ahead.
I mean, I was drunk for like the first 2 weeks, like every night, pretty much. Like I just, I would just get drunk and like video chat with my friends that I used to bartend for, like my old bar regulars and stuff like that, who I'm friends with because they like live around the corner from me and we're all buddies. So yeah, I was just like video chatting with people. We'd be drunk, and be like, "Let's all watch Goodfellas together." Like,
Have a watch party.
so we'd do stuff like that, or play Quiplash, or stuff like that too. Yeah, I started dating somebody in quarantine. That was interesting.
She did. She fell in love in quarantine.
I did love in the time of quarantine.
Now, was this from Zoom or was this from?
I don't know. It's a very roundabout situation. Like his band used to practice at the same spot that my band practiced at. And like when my ex and I had broken up at one point, we were all like hanging out outside and I kind of looked down. I was like, man, that guy's really cute. But I didn't go over and say anything because guys in my band are kind of jackasses sometimes. And I was like, they're just going to embarrass me if I try to do anything here. So whatever. And we ended up matching on OkCupid, which I had completely forgotten about like a year ago, and like talked for a little bit, became Facebook friends, and then just kind of like fell off of it. And I was like, yeah, okay, whatever.
Now, I have to say this, considering I just said Parks and Rec, but how many OkCupid profiles did he have? The nerd profile, the this profile, the that profile?
As far as I know, just the one.
Okay.
But then I was just like one night mindlessly swiping around Tinder. Like I was not planning on going anywhere or meeting anybody. I was just bored and it may as well be a game at this point. So yeah, I swiped right on him and then he's like, hey, are we Facebook friends? I'm like, yeah. And we just like talked for a while and yeah, we started talking like all the time. And so it was just like very different from most of my relationships because we talked a whole bunch before we ever like saw each other naked. Like he would come over to my house and we'd like stand outside and like talk about whatever and blah blah blah. Or we'd like stand in my garage and have coffee or
It's like courting.
Yeah.
Like you might as well have been wearing a corset. He should have asked your father
Who said
to
I
write you
wasn't?
letters.
And you should drop a hanky and see if he picks it up.
So yeah, that's been fun.
And still going strong
Oh yeah, he's super cool. He's gonna be around for a minute, I think.
for a minute.
Well,
Did you wash your hands before y'all start messing around though?
of course. Come on now. He's not an animal.
Well, I would hope more than just the
Before
hands.
and after, and
Well, no, I'm saying like, of course you're gonna come over all washed up, but like before you get into it, like, say,
Oh, yeah, for
wash
sure.
your hands real quick.
Oh, we definitely did that.
Did you
yes.
sing happy birthday twice when you washed your hands? Because that's what we have to tell the kids to do.
I just count. Numbers, I know them. So
I mean,
I'd get bored after 10, just go. Ding, 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 ding.
well, and like people were posting so many things, like you could sing this, you could sing this. I'm like, yeah, I could do a lot of things for 20 seconds, but I'm just gonna wash my hands and focus on that. I don't need to sing a song about it.
Yeah.
I could. I like singing songs about things, but
for all the joking, I don't think I was washing my hands long enough before quarantine. I will confess to that.
I
don't
think I'll confess that too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't think anybody was.
maybe like 10.
But now we know. And I never went up my arms
Like
like
a
they
surgeon.
recommend. Yes, I did not surge and wash. Now I surge and wash my hands.
Well-
And here I am touching my mask on camera, but it's sagging.
I think you're fine.
Okay.
But when we were at work, by the way, we didn't get PPE for at least, and by that I mean the masks.
Mhm.
We didn't get the temperature to the forehead for at least, what was it, 3 weeks?
Quite a while.
Yeah, it was about 3 weeks. So we were like raw nerves going out every day. But it was funny. Once we got the mask, we put the mask on, and you'd be in the bathroom, and it was like you're prepping for surgery. And I'm doing this the entire time, going up the elbows, going under the fingernails, cleaning the Fitbit, all of that. And a person comes in, I'm like, so what surgery you got today? And she just looks at me like, the fuck? It's like, what? You don't have your rhinoplasty today? I got at least a gastro bypass. What about you?
10 rhinoplasty.
But, it just looks like you're prepping for fucking surgery.
It does.
But yeah, I was one of those people that just done. And now I get mad if no one gives you the courtesy paper. Because we always rip, for the next person. Pay it forward. And then you got a person behind you. Walk out.
Yeah.
It's like, fucker, get back in here and be courteous.
Use the elbow.
Use your toes.
Oh my God. I was at work one day and I walked into like the employee bathroom and the people who would like restock the toilet paper would do it, but they would stack it all in the weirdest places. And like one day I went in there, there's the toilet and like the back part that connects the wall. And there was a brand new roll of toilet paper just sitting there. And I was like, I am calling the police. Like, what the hell, man? Like, people's butts are touching that? Like, what are you doing? Like, it's not even far from the seat. There's a table in there, for God's sake. Why would you not put it on the table?
I can't be bothered.
No, I'm just going to set it right here in the epicenter of growth.
Epicenter of Growth, new band name, I called it.
Yes. Epicenter of growth. Dandy would be so proud of you right now.
That's amazing.
And then you got the others, which you finally get the mask, you get the gloves, and just throw them away anywhere.
Litter bugs, like on the ground?
On sidewalks, on the lawn, at work, we have special places to put them. You find them in the regular trash cans. You find them on the floor. It's like, what is wrong with you idiots?
The Mark's parking lot, the first couple of times that I went out of the house like to get supplies was just like littered with gloves. I'm like,
No.
like you can even like roll them inside out and just like tuck them until you can throw them away.
Yeah.
I've dyed my hair a million times and that's what I do every time.
Yeah.
And the best part is I remember somebody was amazed at how I was removing my gloves, going, how do you do that? I'm like, I've